Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Dragon's Waterfall, your channel about Knights of the Zodiac, aka Saint Seiya. And as you can see, today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, being the wonderful world of merchandise and especially the Saint Seiya Funko Pops. But before we begin, as usual, join the channel, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and talk about the world of Saint Seiya with your friends so that they can also enjoy this wonderful show. So, most of you probably are already familiar with the Funko Pops since they've become such a cultural pop icon. They are basically bobbleheads figure and they are made of vinyl, which is basically plastic, and they are reasonably inexpensive. They only cost about $15 to $20 each. But there have been hundreds and hundreds of them made, and really everything from famous anime series like Dragon Balls to real people such as Queen Elizabeth of England has been turned into Funko Pop. And they are also known as the bobblehead figures because they have this characteristic structure with a large head and a small body. But the body is actually quite detailed and quite well made. So it's quite a honor for Saint Seiya to have been added to the list of existing Funko Pops. And this has only happened recently in 2020, following the Knights of the Zodiac series on Netflix. However, as you can actually see, if I move a little bit closer, the Funko Pops are based on the original Saint Seiya. You can see that the series name is written in the largest characters, and also that the boxes use the original names for the characters. So for example, here you have Dragon Shiryu and not wrong. And most importantly, if we move here, we have Andromeda Shun and not Shon. So this is the original Andromeda Knight, the male one, and not the female knight from Knights of the Zodiac. Now, so far there are 6 Saint Seiya Funko Pops. I have 5 and the 6th one is coming. It's stuck in customs at the moment. And the 6 are Seiya, Shiryu, Hyoga, which will hopefully soon arrive, Shun, Ikki, and a special item, a special edition, which is Seiya with the Sagittarius gold cloth. I believe there is also a variant version of Ikki with shining frames, but I haven't been able to find this one in the stores yet. Now, as you can see from the numbers here, these are Funko Pops number 806 onwards. And this number is not actually related to the entire Funko Pop series, but only to the anime Funko Pops. This is just to tell how many thousands of Funko Pops there are in existence. Now, unfortunately, 3 of my Funko Pops have had a rough journey, and actually the poor Seiya, and especially Ikki and Shun, their boxes have been quite damaged in the shipping. Now, I shouldn't complain, it took them over 2 months to arrive from the 17th of November to the 22nd of January, so I'm happy they're here actually. And I'm a collector but not a too picky one. I don't plan to resell them, so I'm not too bothered by the fact that the boxes are a bit damaged, even though I'm a little bit sorry for that. Now, what I'm going to do is open them one by one and just give you a quick review and comment. Let me just position the camera at a better angle so I can free my hands. Okay, here we go. I just put the camera down. So let's begin with Seiya, our main character. And as you can see, this is the Seiya figure. Now, I know for some of you out there, opening the boxes is blasphemy, but as I said, I'm not too picky of a collector and I like to touch what I'm buying. So this is Seiya, the usual Funko Pop structure, large head, no mouth, very detailed body, and he's in a pose of attack He seems to be ready to launch his Pegasus Ryuseikan. The armor he's wearing is the second armor from the original anime, which is called the View 2 or version 2 of his bronze cloth. This is a little bit different from the armor he wears in Knights of the Zodiac, and in the original series he wears this armor in the Poseidon and Asgard arcs. And yes, he's quite well made. You can see the energy from the Cosmo around his feet, just as a special effect. He is quite steady. Now next we open item 807, which is my favorite character, Shiryu. There we go. And here we have Shiryu. Again, he has a special effect, which is basically two dragons at his feet. And again, he's in a classic position with his shield up. This position might be a reference to his battle against Krishna, one of the Poseidon generals in the Poseidon arc, but most likely it's just a coincidence. Yeah, he's also quite stable. He was the first one I got, and his box thankfully is in pristine conditions. Now, number 3, we open up Shun, since Hyoga is not here. Now, the unofficial listing order of the knights is first Seiya, then Shiryu, Hyoga, Shun, and Ikki. And you can see this reflected on the back because their numbers are in this order: Seiya, Shiryu, Hyoga, Shun, and Ikki. This has kind of been always the unofficial, not so much ranking, but not a power ranking, but sort of importance ranking in the series. Now here we have Shun, and he is quite good. I really like the Nebula chains here, because they could have gone for loose chains, but in fact they are in a peculiar position, both of them. And even though they are quite constrained by space, you can see the attack chain being wrapped around his leg, ready to attack, and the defense chain, which seems to be unfolding, ready to defend him with the circle defense. So he is also quite good. I think he's probably the one I like the most of those I've seen so far, even though I also like very much Shiryu's dragon effect. Not so much to say. I didn't mention it, for those of you who don't know, but the heads are mobile. They are a bit limited by how much you can move them by the body, but you can turn them a little bit. Yeah, it's also stable. Next, we have Ikki. Oh, Ikki. Ikki's box is the one that got damaged the most. And Ikki is in a very clear position because he's throwing his Phoenix Wings attacks, which was called Phoenix Rising in the Netflix series. And you can see the frames in front of his hands and around his body. He's also very well made, and he has 3 Phoenix tails on his back, whereas in the Netflix series he has 4. However, 3 is the correct canonical number. Again, you can turn the hand a little bit. He has a little bit more movement than Shun did, because there's not so much restraining him from the rest of his body. He's quite cool. I do like the attention to details, because they even reproduced his scar here. So that's pretty neat. And finally, this special edition. This is actually harder to find. I got it from a website in Australia, of all places. And it took forever to arrive, but it's here. And this is Seiya in his Sagittarius gold cloth. And you can see this is really well detailed, because not only did they reproduce the entire cloth, but also all the decorations on the armor. So you can see on his leg armor, on his arm armor, on the bow all the decorations from the original series. And here he is, he has the Sagittarius bow, he seems ready to attack. Extremely well detailed once again. And to be honest, here you can see the wings of the Sagittarius. To be honest, Funko Pops are so inexpensive because the whole lot of them really wouldn't cost you more than some $60 to $80, which may seem like a lot, but the most famous Saint Seiya merchandise figures, which are the Saint Myth cloth, tend to cost between $80 and $120 each. Now, granted, they are much more detailed, they are made of metal, and they are possible, but still, having 5 figures for about $100 or less isn't bad. In fact, I think I paid $40 for this 3, and then yeah, it must have cost me some $75 to $85. So if you like Funko Pops, absolutely go for them because they deserve it. And even if you don't like Funko Pops, it will be good to, let me just move this a little bit. Even if you don't collect Funko Pops, but you like Saint Seiya in general, then it will be good to have them because they are quite nice. And as I said, Funko Pops are such a cultural icon that it's worth remembering that Saint Seiya has been included among the series worth of being turned into Funko Pop. And as soon as he arrives, I will probably make a little bit video to describe him and add him to the channel, depending on how well this one does. So this is it, one last view of the 5 Funko Pop Nights, and this was the Dragon's Waterfall, your channel for everything Saint Seiya. Bye!